what impact from your UNDP work so far has stayed with you the most?
That's a tough one, but I think one core memory for me definitely was when I got the opportunity to speak at the UNGA, like I said, where all the world leaders were present in that iconic General Assembly hall. And we were able to talk about a lot of the work we did and make some very simple but specific demands to people in positions of power. That felt very consequential.
I'm sure it was. It is such a great platform to raise your voice, and with the correct folks that too.
And I think most importantly also to be entrusted by an organization like the UN to represent the global youth, that in those 6 minutes we will be able to comprehensively share everything that we're looking forward to and the answers that we're asking for, the questions we're seeking answers to. So that really felt consequential.
Right, and when we talk about UNDP, one of the things that comes to mind is impact.
Yeah.
How do you measure something so subjective like impact, and what does it mean to you?
I don't think it's measurable. I get asked this a lot, but it's like asking, as actors, maybe ticket sales measure the impact of how well our film did. But the truth really is that even with film, the impact is measured with when fans come up to you and talk about how watching your film or how your character changed something in their life in a very tangible way. So for me, impact is tangible. I think when I see concrete action, that for me means that, okay, something good is happening. So when I see the Youth Collab do what we had intended for it to do, which is give birth to a generation of young social entrepreneurs, that for me is impact. And not even necessarily 5 million views on a reel talking about how we can make impact, There's a big difference between, I feel, online engagement now and real on-ground impact.
Great. So what is the one pressing issue, if you had to give us just one single one, that is impacting the youth right now in a negative way that we have to address and the UNDP is currently working to counter?
I think it's and which is at least my area of focus with them are the mental health repercussions of the climate crisis. The UNDP and the UN agencies at large are doing incredible work in solving for this behemoth issue. But that specific effect that it's having on the mental health of the young generation is what we're really trying to solve for. And like I said on stage as well, that's happening through conversations, that's happening through destigmatization, and it's also happening by just accepting the problem and enabling all of us to become actual contributors to the solution.
Okay. My last question is about you as an individual and your journey with UNDP. So usually we tend to limit ourselves to, say, our social circles, our work environment. When we work with an organization like the UN, we have to unlearn a lot of things. We have to expand our horizons. So what has been the biggest unlearning and relearning aspect for you in your UNDP journey?
So much, and it's been one of the biggest learning curves of my life. I think when I was onboarded, 4 or 5 years ago, it felt like little Sanjana's childhood dream come true, because I was that kid who used to go debating and go to MUNs and do all of that. And as I kept going along in my journey, I realized what a responsibility it is. And what an empowering tool it is. I've been able to design campaigns, take them off into the world. I've been able to connect with global change makers all across the world. Last year I became a jury on Young Leaders for SDG with the UN Youth Office, where on the jury with me there's Malala Yousafzai and Cody Simpson and some incredible pioneers. So it's also just for me to grow and expand personally, and increase my knowledge base and increase the horizons of my dreams almost. It's done all of that for me.